Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. This week's video is focused all on success and how you can begin your entrepreneurial journey. If you're interested in finding out what steps you should take to kickstart your self-made career, stick around to find out. But before we begin though, make sure to turn on notifications and subscribe to our channel to keep up with future videos like this. Done? Perfect? Let's get into the video then. Today, we're not only going to be talking about what sort of mindset you need to become an entrepreneur, but we're going to be talking about where a lot of existing entrepreneurs begin their journey. And don't worry, you don't have to be an Ivy League grad to make a name for yourself. First of all, let's start off with the right mindset you need for success. The first thing you should have is the drive and the passion to succeed. The most important thing you need to have when it comes to your business venture is passion. If you're not passionate about what you're trying to create, you're going to find it very difficult to work on it, and it's pretty much destined to fail before it even takes off. So if your main drive is money and you don't care how you get there, it might be time to reevaluate your dream of becoming an entrepreneur. Wanting money isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to be a long road to entrepreneurship if you've got a specific venture in mind, especially considering you're going to have to spend a lot of money to get to the top. The whole journey will be a lot easier if you either have a skill you can turn into something big or an idea you're crazy about making work. The next most important thing to remember is that you have to be honest with yourself throughout the process. You need to remember throughout the entire process that it is you and you alone that is responsible for whether this venture succeeds or fails. There is no one else to blame but yourself, so you have to be entirely honest with yourself when it comes to your business's shortcomings. This will allow you to learn and grow from them rather than letting them ruin your venture and your mindset. If you're honest about where you personally have gone wrong rather than just let yourself be angry, you'll find the journey a lot easier as you'll be able to adapt more. Being honest with yourself goes hand in hand with being open-minded. Being open-minded is another vital quality you should possess when on the road to entrepreneurship. If you're able to take criticism, your venture has more of a chance of succeeding because your business will be able to evolve with you. Being able to listen to others and adapt your vision based on their feedback will ensure you don't end up running in circles around the same idea you started with. Business plans change and that's okay. Last of all, you need to be a risk taker. If you're too afraid to take risks and potentially deal with losses, you might find it a lot harder to become an entrepreneur and you're definitely more likely to fail. Taking risks is without a doubt one of the main things in the job description as an entrepreneur, and it's pretty vital to your success. The definition of an entrepreneur is a person who sets up a business or businesses taking on financial risks in hope of profit, meaning you're going to be using your own money and potentially throwing it at the wind. That's just the first risk you're going to have to take, but if you genuinely believe in your business venture, then it will be worthwhile in the end. Now let's look at where some other entrepreneurs begin their journey. Let's begin with Jeff Bezos. Everyone's heard of Jeff Bezos' inspiring climb from his online bookstore in his parents' garage to his multi-billion-dollar Amazon empire. Now the richest person in the world, Bezos has come a long way and worked hard to get there. He's definitely the kind of person you could take inspiration from. Way back before he started Amazon, Bezos was working at Fitel, which is a fintech telecommunications startup. He also made sure he had a hedge fund to fall back on in case his Amazon venture failed. This is a really important thing to consider because you're likely to see a lot of financial setbacks when first starting your business. A fallback fund will ensure you don't have to pack up and continue your plans if you run into trouble. Next up is Bill Gates. One of the most famous entrepreneurs in the world, Bill Gates is the co-founder of Microsoft, a technology company that now has a net worth of $1 trillion. He's also one of the richest men in the world, and that came from a lot of hard work. Bill Gates started his career as a computer programmer and wrote his first software program at just 13 years old. While you don't have to be a genius to be an entrepreneur, Gates has an IQ of 160 and created Microsoft while he was a sophomore at Harvard in 1975. In his childhood friend Paul Allen co-founded that trillion-dollar company by developing software to create the first microcomputer. They've come a long way since. Now on to Steve Jobs. If you're able to name the largest companies in the world, I guarantee you'd list off Apple pretty quickly. Just last year it was confirmed that 1.4 billion Apple devices were active in the world, and that would have only gone up since. This may sound overwhelming, but Jobs and co-founders Wayne and Wozniak started from nothing too. Like Jeff Bezos, the three started the entrepreneurship journey in a garage from nothing and ended up with a tech company worth $2 trillion. Before the invention of Apple, Steve Jobs joined Atari as a video game maker, but before that, he briefly attended Reed College. However, he never actually graduated, making Jobs one of the few entrepreneurs that doesn't have a degree. So if you're talking yourself down and saying you can't do it because you don't have a fancy education, it doesn't matter. You don't need one. Look at Steve Jobs. Next up is Wan Lei-chun. Don't worry, you don't have to be a man to be a successful entrepreneur. There are a ton of female entrepreneurs that do amazing things and just don't get the same recognition. For example, Wan Lei-chun has made just an impressive career for herself as all the other tech men on this list. In fact, Jobs and Apple are actually pretty reliant on her genius. Lei-chun founded Luxshare, a Chinese electronics manufacturer that supplies most of the parts for Apple's products. She actually became one of the world's youngest female billionaires when she founded the company in 2004 and has been praised for her hard work. Before creating Luxshare, Lei-chun has actually began working at Foxconn in 1988. She was a member of the assembly department for 10 years before she decided to put her skills to the test and start her own business. Good thing she believed in herself, and so should you. Now let's take a look at Sarah Blakely. Again, don't worry, you don't have to be a tech genius to become an entrepreneur. Obviously, not every company in the world is a tech company, and other people need to make the ones that aren't. Let's take Sarah Blakely, for example. She's the founder of Spanx, a multi-million-dollar undergarment company founded in 1998. Before she founded it, though, she attended Florida State University and left with a bachelor's degree in communications. This fancy education didn't get her all that far, so stop using your lack of one as an excuse. It was in communications. Following graduation, she held down various entry-level jobs before thinking up her billion-dollar idea. She was working as a salesperson selling fax machines from door to door when she thought up the idea of Spanx. Her idea came from cutting the feet of pantyhose to wear them going out, and from there, she made her company. She's one of the most impressive female entrepreneurs, not because of her design, but because of her resilience. Her idea was rejected a tons of times by potential investors, and she had to work twice as hard to get her idea off the ground. But she never gave up on it because she truly believed she could make something out of it. Good thing she stuck to it. Now she has a personal net worth of $1 billion, and her brand is appreciated and used by millions. Last but not least is Denise Coates. If you've not heard of Denise Coates, you're sure to have heard of her legacy. Coates founded Bet365 in January 2000, and it went on to become one of the largest betting companies in the world. Before its launch, Coates spent an entire year building up her site bet65.com before launching it to the public. And with a $15 million loan from the Royal Bank of Scotland, she was on her fast way to success. Now she has a net worth of an incredible $2.5 billion and a site that averages 12 billion pounds of bets per year. All this started from her job as a cashier in betting shops owned by her father. Talk about making your way to the top. So let's discuss this. What's the takeaway? Find your niche and hone your skills for it. We've seen tech entrepreneurs such as Gates and Zuckerberg make billions off their tech skills, but that doesn't mean all entrepreneur journeys need to be tech related, as we know from business people such as Sarah. You just need to make sure you have the drive to perfect your skills and channel them into something great. If you have the resilience, the passion, and the drive to make whatever your vision is work, you're halfway there. Maybe you need a garage to work from too. That's everything we have for you today. If you know of any entrepreneurs that had some wacky beginnings, let us know in the comments. Also, let us know if you want to see future videos like this. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel for future videos like this. Don't forget to turn on notifications or else you might miss out on something good. We'll see you next time for another video.